we will call the December 15th, 2025 Vigo County Parks and Recreation Board meeting to order. Start with the roll call.
Abby Desborough.
Here.
Jeff Fisher. Eddie Adams. Aaron Gadberry. Joe Newton. Tabby Flynn. Kylie Smith. Here.
Call for agenda additions and corrections.
I have none.
All right. Approval of November, December claims.
You said the 15,000 tax rate. That's 2 quietuses go in every year for our capital. 15 and 15 for 30,000 a year that goes into that line. It goes into our 1219. That's incoming money. Yeah. That's a special line that comes through from taxes. And then we do that after each tax season, once in the spring, once in the fall after the tax collection. And then that gives us 30,000 a year for capital projects. Yep. We paid the Griffin Bike Park building off last week.
But it was split in between like 3 different funds. So there's 80,000 on there too, and then the 40,000.
That was part of coming in for the Griffin Bike Park building from the Community Foundation. Yep.
Kylie's got you right there.
We can have Joe's packet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you
I have a
go.
whole packet for that on there.
Old-timey way.
There we go. Paper. All right. Unless anyone has any other questions, we'll seek a motion to approve the claims. All in favor? Opposed? Claims approved. Approval of November minutes and reports.
Motion to approve November minutes and reports as submitted.
All right, all in favor? Opposed? All right, they're approved. Comments from the public.
I think we got a couple different people that want to speak today. Whoever wants to go first.
Well, do you guys have any questions for me by any chance? My name is Aaron Warner. This whole disc golf project started over a coffee. Adam made a mistake and he answered the phone one time, and it's just been a thorn in his side ever since. Do you guys have any questions by any chance of me? If you don't, that's totally fine. Totally fine.
No, I think it's a great opportunity for our parks to kind of expand our offerings, and so thank you for reaching out.
You're very welcome. My folks were lifelong members of this community for the most part, and they had a philosophy, and that was live beneath your means and give generously. And they did a lot for this community. They established a lot of scholarships. They sponsored art projects. And my stepdad passed away. My mom is now in a memory care unit, but I thought we could still do more. And when I was younger, I used to think you couldn't change the world, but I was dumber then as well. And I found you can change the world, and it starts with a smile on one person. That's it. And if you make 100 people smile, you're 100 times closer to making the world a better place. So my son took my advice for once and did some research during COVID in Laramie, Wyoming at the university, and he's cheap. He played golf for Terre Haute South's golf team, but it was very expensive. But disc golf turned out to be cheaper. Most places it's free. So that kind of turned us on. I'm not an avid player by any means, but he was an avid player. And I started doing, I'm a kind of a numbers guy, I like numbers, and I started calculating the ROI, the return on the investment for a disc golf course, and it turned out to be incredible what it could do for a community. And so I saw that we had one disc golf course, and I thought we could increase that significantly, especially if you have a lot of volunteer work or if you have one Adam Grossman employed. So that conversation started, and we wanted to have a really, really good one, a championship disc golf course. And the numbers that we have been presented, I'm sure have been presented to you folks. If we had a national tournament-style championship course, one event could have 10,000 spectators. And if this is a multi-day event, each person's going to stay in a hotel. That's $100 per. You just paid for the golf course right there just in hotel stays. So if we could make several day tournaments, if we can increase those golf courses more than just this tournament course, we could do even more. All of these courses will be named after my mom's grandchildren. So this championship one that John will be talking about is Course Journey. Course William will be at Prairie Creek Park, which will be one of the top 10 probably woods courses in the state. It is absolutely gorgeous. I've got permission from Rose Holman to have a limited opening course, an 18-hole course. It has 1 mile walking between the tee and hole. And it'll be, what's great about it, it'll be a limited opening. They will not allow the public except for practice before a tournament. So people from Indianapolis can come, and they've had just as much experience as these guys who live in Terre Haute. So being closed most of the time can be very helpful. They've given us permission to have 2 tournaments per year at that course. Innovation Grove, which Rose Holman, a $100 million project they're looking into to expand the Poplar and 46 area. Part of that grant was another large 18-hole course. That would be another woods course that would be massive, which would be well over a mile between tee and hole. And I guess that's kind of a bar. When you have a mile, that's a pretty good course. So I kind of started off with 18 holes. That's 1 hole for every 5,900 citizens in Vigo County. That goes down to, if all this stuff happens, and I retire at the end of this year, so I'm going to make this stuff happen. We're looking at possibly 1 hole per every 1,070 citizens in Vigo County. That's 99 holes. We started with 18. And so I'm calling this Project 99. And so I really, really want this to happen. And when I'm this motivated, things tend to. At Terre Haute South, I have a project going on called Project Sawdust. We wanted to make the best wood shop in the nation, in a high school. And we did it. It's done. It's absolutely amazing. It is unreal. And by the way, if you want to take that class, registrations are going to go out very soon, and it's limited to 15 folks. But they are going to have access to the nicest wood shop in Terre Haute. All of these things make things better. And I hope folks look at this and see just an average Joe Jane citizen can make the world a better place. Sometimes it takes a bit of money. Sometimes it takes a little bit of sweat. Sometimes tears. But folks can make a difference. Thank you for being so receptive to this, and thank you very much, Adam, for, I don't know, having coffee with me. Big mistake. I'll be had no coffee with anybody else the last 2 or 3 years. That's my spiel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Since he was in town, Mr. Houck
Yes.
had to introduce himself at the very least. So.
I'm John Houck. Full disclosure, I am not a resident of Vigo County. I hope that doesn't disqualify me from speaking. But easy place to start. I want to thank Aaron and echo what he said about the economic and health benefits to the community of disc golf. And you probably don't need to know this, but based on my experience in 150 courses now, I would say you are very lucky to have Adam on your side too. So he's been great to work with. We're making good progress on the course. We had a bit of a break. You have an amazing piece of property. It was a little incomplete, but now that it just grew by 18 acres, it's an amazing place for any kind of disc golf. It's going to be a wonderful place for people who have never played before, and it's going to be a great place for a Pro Tour event if you choose to have that there. And we're designing in a way that it can handle a Pro Tour event. Knowing what I know now, I probably would have been in Houston this week and come here last week, but we didn't know. So it's been challenging, although Brian and Adam and the guys were out there the other day doing some grading. We're working on a green for the 18th hole that is unlike anything that I've ever seen. And today, with a lot of the honeysuckle taken out and with leaves off the trees, I saw all kinds of holes today that I've never seen before. It really is an amazing property, and people are really going to enjoy it out there. So it's especially striking to me because for the last 4 months we've been getting a Pro Tour course ready in the New Orleans area, which has about as much topography as that table. And we've been working the whole time thinking, boy, we want this to be the best course on the Pro Tour, and the players will love this more than any other course. But you potentially have everything that they have and amazing topography. So you really have the potential to have something really special here. So we're step by step, little challenges with the weather this year, but with Aaron getting ready to step out and start tackling some of the physical work out there in addition to what these guys are doing, I think we're headed in the right direction, and when it's all done, you're really going to have something amazing here. And we just Max just told me that he traveled to Georgia just to play one of the courses that I designed, and I imagine that will be a very common story once we're done here. All the people who came up to Vigo County just to play this course, it's definitely, well, and the other 71 holes, 81 holes that are part of Project 99. So it's a good thing. Thank you for making this possible, and really looking forward to what's coming. I know y'all don't know me. I don't say this all. It really is amazing out there. It's an incredible property. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
What is the minimum width of a fairway?
Well, if you're in certain places in Texas, it might be 100 feet, and if you're in certain places in North Carolina, it might be about 3.5 feet. So it's one of the great things about disc golf is it's different every time. If you play golf and you're going to a course you've never been before, you wake up in the morning and you know more or less the fairways are going to be this wide and this long. But in disc golf, it's all about working with what's there. And that's one of the great things about my job is it doesn't ever get boring. And as I said, I saw things today I haven't seen on a disc golf course anywhere. So the short answer is it depends. So, okay.
I can say John's been great to work with as well. So Brian did a great job on the excavator, getting to places that most people wouldn't take an excavator.
My name is Max Hostetler. I am the new current president for Crossroads Disc Golf Club here in town. Little story I want to share with you about what was about 2 years ago. I think we first heard about this project, and Bloomington, I call them our sister club. We went to an event and we said, "Hey, we might be getting a John Houck course in Terre Haute," and they literally laughed at us because they know what it means when you get a John Houck course. It's pretty incredible, and I just want to let you guys know, as an avid disc golfer, someone who is willing to travel to Georgia just to play one of his courses, man, we're going to have something pretty special here in Terre Haute, and we are very excited about it, so thank you.
Any additional comments from the public?
Any students? No?
Well, that's exciting news. I'm glad to hear everything's coming together for the golf course. I'm sure we'll probably hear a little bit more, but
Yep.
I think that's just a testament to your department, though. I mean, think of Griffin Bike Park and how much it's grown and developed and brought people in that had never probably heard of Vigo County before. So excited about the potential for disc golf to do that as well. I think up next is comments from board members. And then if there's any employees that wanted to comment.
I know Tavia wants to give an update about Christmas Walk, so.
Hello. So we had Christmas Walk again this year on December 5th and 6th, and it was a wonderful turnout, a wonderful event. Thank you to our park staff who helped immensely with putting up the lights and plowing all of the snow that we got for parking, as well as all of our wonderful volunteers that we had for the event. We had Santa Claus that came down again this year from the North Pole, as well as his reindeer made a special appearance. And then we also had carriage rides return again this year, so hopefully we'll be able to continue that for next year. And then we made about $1,625.75 in concession sales. Yeah. And then I also just wanted to just kind of thank everyone for being so warm and welcoming to me in my first 8 months here with the Vigo County Parks. I am really excited to continue my work with you guys into next year. We also have some exciting events that I'm looking forward to for next year. I know I mentioned in a previous board meeting that we are going to be launching the West Central Indiana Outdoor Expo, which is a very exciting event that will be on April 18th and 19th. And then this year we launched an inaugural star party that we hope to continue again for next year too. So we have some exciting events for next year, and yeah, I just thank everybody. Thank you.
I can't say on my comments. The only thing I'll say in my portion here is I think we're the only, John keeps saying, you know, a lot of county parks that he works with don't have the ability to help install a course. But I feel like we got the staff to make this happen. If it wasn't for our staff having that ability, it either wouldn't happen or we'd be out $500,000 worth of contractors. So people like Brian that can get up and crawl up a hillside on an excavator and make a hole out of it is what's really going to help get this. John's going to lay out his vision and tell us to the inch where we need to do things, and we're going to make sure that happens. But without the staff that we got, I don't think that would be able to happen. So that's the only comment I have.
So earlier this summer, I don't know if you all remember, but we did some work on a dump station there by the beach. Thought it could be a leak, found out it wasn't a leak. So we did some repairs inside that, but realized we need to do some revamping on all the dump stations at Fowler Park. So we had a company take a look. So now we're back looking at it again for next year here. So we're trying to get some final numbers from them and hopefully get the revamping done here next year.
I'll tag on to some additional capital improvements. The overlook's almost done. So if you've not driven by it, it's starting to take shape, and if the weather will cooperate for longer than a day, it'll get done. So that's going to be an awesome addition. Looking at a ribbon cutting of some kind on that, probably more towards spring when there's water in the wetland and it's a little better weather. We've also got some viewers and benches and things we've ordered coming in. So had a couple of donations to be able to make that happen. Let's see, Brian started the walkway right before it snowed and got terrible. So at some point in time, we'll get the connector between the pedestrian walkway and the Wabashiki Trail officially roughed in and get ready to pave that in spring this coming year. We've ordered signage for the walkway that connects the Wabashiki Trail to Old Paris leg that's done. I wanted the safest crossing signals that we could get out there. So we're got those. They'll be here in 6 weeks, but it'll be spring, I'm sure, before we can build a crossing there. So coming up this spring, we'll get that crossing done, get in some push button signs and things of that nature. So any questions on capital things? That's all I've got for that. Old business, there was a couple requests you guys wanted. One was total year-end revenue. Our total year-end revenue for the year is $317,068. That was $26,134 in shelter and barn rentals. That is $96,000 at Hawthorne Park, mostly in camping, some point-of-sale sales, but not a lot. Fowler Park, $123,792 for the year, $4,000 in POS sales, and then Prairie Creek Park come in at $71,043 for the year. Any questions on that? Yep, and I think hopefully it'll get better. So. I mean, it's up a little. Until we took cards, we were way below that. But once we got on a reservation system and went to accepting cards, and that's our highest year yet, but we also have the cabin rentals and the wagon that we've also added as well. So it's a little bit more, but we also keep adding some amenities. The other, wasn't sure, I left it in old business, but the other request made was to go gather some information about who collects gate fees, how much do they get, why do they get them, and things of that nature. I think I sent that out to everybody. The average gate fee is $7 for each park, but the overwhelming response from all parks is they don't get tax money. That's the overarching theme through all these other county parks, is they're not as blessed as we are to be able to do some things outside of that non-reverting fund. So I guess that's the rundown that I have. Is there any questions on the information that I'd sent over? I've got other ideas. So.
Yeah, no, it was a good fact-finding endeavor, and it's good to understand and just level set with other parks in the state and community. So,
I think my personal opinion is, we keep growing our amenities. We're doing better and better every year on things of that nature. As far as the security aspect, I started to talk with security pros. City parks have security pros as well, I believe, in some places. They also help us run our gates currently. Looking into some cameras that will grab people's license plates, the make, model, description of that vehicle on every vehicle that enters the park, as well as some other cameras that will take pictures and retain that information for 90 days. So I'm still in the midst of trying to, they don't send anything that's easy to read, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly do they mean. But I think it's something obtainable. I mean, we may have to go to council for a little bit of money to make this happen this coming year if we so choose, but $3,000 some odd to get cameras in, let's say at Hawthorne Park. Hawthorne Park's package they put together for me was a camera on the incoming to grab license plates every car that comes into the park, a camera on the outgoing, another chance to get plates, but also if you want a chance to get people's face in that vehicle, and then 2 other cameras to be able to put in locations where you're having issues, whether it's a shelter area, the restroom. As long as you have a good internet signal and power, you can put these cameras wherever you want it. So there was 4 lenses quoted. The hardware package A, as far as I can tell, was $3,000 some odd what you're out up front. The reoccurring monthly would be $148 for the service fee, $72 a month for the fee on the cameras. So really looking at $215 a month or so for that park for those cameras. The other option would be to go with no reoccurring connection fee at $148. You'd stay at the $72, but your upfront cost is more. You'd be looking at about $8,000 in equipment, but only the $72 reoccurring cost. In that package, you don't get cameras, if something happens to the camera, it overheats, it melts. Something happens, you pay for another camera. It's about $780 each. If you're in the $148 a month package, they'll replace that camera, or when it's outdated, there's new technology, they come in and for free replace that camera. So I'm still kind of weeding through that. I didn't know what kind of cameras you guys have, if it's plate readers or. Okay. I'm still doing research, so I'll get with Kylie and see what they've got and see what these guys, the good thing about this system, if we so chose to uplink to the flock system, you could be in that chain where I don't understand it all, but if they're looking for somebody, a plate's been tagged, you know, it's a known issue, it'll alert the authorities that that vehicle's an issue. Last time I looked, it was more money than we have to think about getting involved with that, but maybe things have changed. Supposedly the systems have changed here in the last year to where everything's gotten cheaper and for whatever reason. So I'll continue to run that down. So hopefully by camping season, maybe we can make a decision. I think that's our best route and everything that we were talking about last month, this month, as far as, you know, making these parks the best parks that we can and using money wisely in the scope of things. So, any questions on that? Looks like you have a question. I think, and I don't think it'll be the full 3,000 some odd in the full price. That's for 4 lenses that I don't think we need 4. I think we need 3, 2, and could vary per park. So that was kind of worst case scenario per park number. 90 days for the package we got. I would assume you could grab those if you wanted and put them somewhere else if you wanted to keep that data after 90 days, or if there's been an issue, you can pull that data, store it somewhere else. If you went with the flock system, maybe. This system I don't think is going to identify anything other than the make, model of the vehicle and the plate. So if you have a problem and you can identify that this car come in at this time, it was the only car in, it'll at least give you somewhere to start. I don't think it's going to alert you through the system. There may be something where you can type in a plate number to alert you. You know, if somebody's been removed from the park, I'd say there's a very good possibility that you could be alerted there when that vehicle come in. I don't know if you know that or not, but. Hamilton County does too. Yeah. Like Hamilton County's monthly bill is like $1 million to these guys. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and we do, especially when we have issues, we ask for increased patrol in that particular park. I know this last summer they actually had a plainclothes officer on a bicycle riding through one of the parks. So that's usually a call I make to Sheriff Fell or somebody else. Say, hey, we've had some issues. Can we have increased patrol, or if it's a reoccurring issue, something else. But yeah. Yeah. It's always good to see. Yeah. Or if we could tag on to Rose Holman. Yeah. I call good conversations to have that could be rolled into this whole package. Anything else on that? I think that's all I have for old business then.
All right, then we'll move on to new business with adopt rates for 2026 first.
All right, I think I sent you all the email with our new updated rates and our incoming cabin. If anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, we left the wagon the same. The primitive cabin we upped a little bit, $70 a month or a day, a night. Primitive camping we upped to $20. That seems to be pretty well the going rate across the state, county or not. I paid like $27 or more for primitive site in the state park. So $20 is that change. I think I listed it all in the email. We didn't make any substantial changes other than the ones listed in policy. Pretty much kept everything else the same. The big change was the headquarters, Griffin Bike Park headquarters. Needed to assign a value for renting that community space. We felt like the same as the barn would be pretty close, a good start. So that $100 on Monday through Thursday, weekends and holidays be $200 for the day. Any questions on our 157 park policies and rates?
No, I think that's a good start for the headquarters. I'd be interested to see how, because it's a really nice space, and see how much it gets used. So,
Yeah.
but I like keeping it affordable for people to have events as well.
I think it'll become our most used facility if I had to guess.
So do we need two separate motions, or do we need just one for rates and
I
policies?
attached the rates to the policies for our 2026 rates and policies. So,
Okay.
I seek a motion to adopt the rates and policies for 26.
Any questions or motion?
The policies themselves or the rates? The rates, primitive camping went up to $20. The primitive cabin went up to $70 from $60 last year. Other than that, the rates are about the same, other than the assignment of the new rate at Griffin Bike Park for the community space. Yeah.
Opposed?
Thank you very much. Oh yeah. All right. So this one we've been talking about a while. Sought 3 different quotes for service. One didn't respond. One was at least 28, probably more $30,000 to do this. I believe we have an opportunity to take some parkland out of the floodway. I believe the flood maps were off, drawn just arbitrarily. I feel like we can get this out of the floodway Bicentennial Park along Highway 40, which would help us significantly if we wanted to demo the old concession building, whatever we're going to do with embeds. There's a lot in those parcels that are going to need work and would behoove us to get it out. The contract I sent over was with Banning Engineering, $21,000. I have asked Riverscape to pay for half of this cost that we'll find out Wednesday morning, but I feel like they are probably going to do. So I feel like that's a great partnership. It's an awesome opportunity for riverfront development, great opportunity for us in parks and planning. So I felt like that relationship really meshed pretty well in this project. Really looking at, once we get this ball rolling, looking at conceptual design of what that area really can look like. We've had some conceptual design before, but the conceptual design, if Banning Engineering is successful, and like I said, there's no guarantee we can get it out of the floodway, just the conversations. Eddie was with me at a couple of different meetings about talking about doing just this. We feel like the potential is definitely there. Just know it's not a guarantee just because we signed this contract. That's Banning's job at that point to submit the information needed, prove the fact that it's out of the floodway, that it's 4 feet above base flood elevation. So we feel like we can get the maps amended. It's just going to cost some money and time. But great opportunity for us, Riverscape, and then looking once Banning gets rolling on this and we see that it is going to come out of the floodway, doing a conceptual plan at that point of that park and what it could look like with some real hard plans. We definitely could. I don't know if that'll be a requirement of the process, but right. I think they're going to want to subdivide those parcels. There's, a couple of meetings that we were in, and this whole parcel at that point is out. 98% of this parcel's in, so we're going to leave it in, and that it could go a few different ways. I think once the state gets a hold of it. Yeah, it's always good to do. And the vote I'd be seeking is half this contract amount to sign the contract with Banning if Riverscape comes through with what I've asked of them. Unless we go ask for more money, we can't take the hit of $21,000 next year. So closer to a 2-year project, unfortunately. Maybe a year and a half before we really kind of know what they're going to do. 2 years before you actually can pull the trigger on a project within that area, give or take, however fast the state moves. Thank you very much. I'll call them tomorrow. He's been waiting a year, 9 months. All right, so looking forward to 2026 budget. If we want a mower to mow with, by the time grass grows, we've got to get it ordered now. We are going to get $25,000 in new equipment next year. Again, after pricing this out through Kubota and a few others, AHW John Deere was the cheaper for the equivalent of their 1550, and most of the parts, well, all the parts we run, 1550 front decks, 1570s for more slopes and other things. They were the cheapest by $1,000 or so. Here, $24,985 for a 1550 through AHW. Seek a vote to be able to pursue that and get it ordered. Thank you. We actually, instead of trading in an old 1570, we're going to keep it, see if the guys can keep it running a little bit longer. They are over $30,000 each, and right now it's got 1,600 hours on it, but it still runs. So I figure we'll just keep that one in our pocket as long as we can. But did you say cabin purchase? All right. Seek a motion to order a new cabin for Prairie Creek Park. The commissioners are gracious enough through some ARPA funding to get a couple cabins out at the parks. That went really well. We've been really thrilled with the cabins, and people have loved them. They're really well built. They look awesome and really cheap. I don't think we could build one in-house for the price that we pay for these cabins. That being said, there's a 5% increase in 2026. I do not have the money to put 25% down on this year, so the original price with a lighting package was $18,615. Add 5% to that, it's $19,545.75. That's a little different cabin, same company, same kind of layout, just a little smaller cabin and less amenities to it. We figured we'd rather spend $6,000 or $7,000, $8,000 less, deck it out ourselves, rather than get the exact same cookie cutter cabin that we got last time. So we're going to save some money. The guys are in it. They're ready to deck it out and get some of our own things in there. Some things we think will fit better with what the community wants. But I tried to find anything like it to quote. Nobody does. I can find a she shed that you could try to do something with, but I think I sent you the layout as well. Yep. Thank you very much. It's hard to find one delivered, ready to go that day for any cheaper. Yes, there's actually a couple things that I should have added when you asked me about additions and corrections. I forgot about 2026 meeting dates altogether. I passed out proposed meeting dates for everyone, sticking with the fourth Monday of the month, barring a couple changes. We may have to amend the location due to voting, but we'll see. No, just want to thank you guys for another year, and you guys elect not to get paid to be on this board. And we appreciate it. The community appreciates it. So thank you. You all have your niche of what I call for. So everybody on the board has something that you deal with probably on a monthly basis, just depending on what expertise is. So appreciate fielding my phone calls and being able to answer questions. The only other thing I've got, talked to Abby about it, almost forgot. Toys for Tots is in our log barn. Technically, our policy says schools and scouts are the only ones that get free rentals. They really needed somewhere to go in a very short order. We went ahead and let them move into our log barn for the weekdays this week. So that's where they're located this week. Now that's all I have, I'm pretty sure. Got anything you want to say? Okay, had to ask. Thank you.